Hello there everyone, my name is Mayo and welcome to this week's video. So for this week's video, I am going to be showing you how to do a fall look. If you haven't noticed, I haven't been posting in the past couple of weeks. That's because I was sick, one, and then two, I had a lot of homework. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to be trying to post every weekend. But I think I'm just going to be like posting every other weekend because it seems to be easier for me to do every other weekend than every weekend. But I will try. But let's get into the video. So I'm going to start off with priming my eyes. I already have my base down. I did a little light look, a little soft look, and I'm going to be using the Morphe eyelid primer. So I'm just going to take about that much in my finger, and I'm going to be tapping that on my lid and blending it out. The palettes that I'm using today is the Morphe X James Charles palette, the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette, and the Zulu by Juvia's Place. I'm first going to dip into the shade Punch Me in the James Charles palette, and I'm going to place that on my crease and the outer V and blending that out. It's more my natural skin tone, but it's a bit darker, and I like to use that as like a blending shade or a transition. Then I'm going to dip into the shade T in the James Charles palette, and I'm going to be placing that on the outer part of my eyelid and blending that outwards and into my crease. Then I'm going to dip into the shade No Beans in the James Charles palette, and I'm going to be placing that where I placed T and blending that in to the crease. Now I'm going to dip into the shade Benny, and I'm only going to take a little bit of that and tapping some off, and I'm going to place that right in the center of the outer V, wiping some off and blending that out into the crease. Now I'm going to dip into the shade Canvas, and I'm going to be placing that on the center of my lid, going towards the inner corner. Now I'm going to dip into the shade Code James. I'm going to tap some of that off, and I'm going to be placing that in between where I placed Canvas and the darker shades. Then I'm going to take my shimmer brush, looks like this, and I'm going to wipe it off because it's a bit dirty. Then I'm going to dip into the shade Halloween. It is a nice little sparkle orange color, and I'm going to place that right where I placed Canvas and blend that in. Now I'm going to dip into the shade Shook. It is a red shimmer color, and I'm going to be placing that closer around where I placed Halloween. Now I'm going to go onto the Juvia's palette, and I'm going to dip into, I'm going to dip into this shade right here. It is a nice gold and pink shimmer, and I'm going to be placing that in the inner corner of my eyelid, blending that out. Then I'm going to go onto the chocolate gold palette, and dip into the shade Classy and Sassy. It is a nice kind of like rose gold color, and I'm going to be placing that more focused in the middle of the inner corner, blending that in with the other shade that I placed from the Juvia's palette. Then I'm going to grab this brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade T from the James Charles palette and place that on the outer third of my lower lash line. Then I'm going to dip back into the shade No Beans from the James Charles palette. I'm going to be placing that closer to the center of the lower lash line, kind of blending that in with the shade T that I placed. Now I'm going to dip back into the shade Code James, and I'm going to be placing that in the center of my lower lash line, and I'm going to be blending that in with No Beans. Now I'm going to take my MAC brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Tune and place that right under where I placed my lower lash line shadows, kind of like blending it in with it so that I can create more of a highlight. Then I'll take a little bit more and kind of like outline the shadow so that I can get more of a precise or cut look. Then I'm going to dip into the shade 2, and I'm going to be placing that on my brow bone. Now I'm going to take a black liner pencil, and I'm going to only do the outer third of my waterline. Then I'm going to take a white eye pencil, and I'm going to place that on the inner third of my waterline. Then I'm going to take a small brush like this. It's a small little angled brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Benny, and I'm going to be placing that right above or right on my lash line, and I'm going to be blending that out so that it's kind of like an eyeliner. Now I'm going to take a little bit of mascara, and I'm going to place very little bit of it because I want more of a natural look. And then I'm going to grab some highlighter. I'm going to be using this brush. I'm going to wipe some off just in case it's dirty. And I have this color. It's from MAC. It's in the shade Show Gold. It is this like gold to pink highlight. And I'm going to just be placing that on the high points of my cheekbones, blending that out. Then I'm going to take just a little bit, place that on the center of my nose. Take some more and put that on my Cupid's bow. Then take just a little bit more and put it on my brow bone. Then I'm going to take my Fenty Beauty highlighter, and I'm going to be placing that right over top of where I put the MAC highlighter. Now I'm just going to be taking some lashes. I have these ones again, and I'm just going to have my little tool, and then I'm going to put some glue on it and then dry it off. Now I'm just going to be placing that as close as I can get to the lash line. Then I'm going to take some eyeliner and I'm going to connect the line from the end of my lash into my eye. Now I'm going to take my MAC lipstick. It looks like this, and it is in this color. And then I'm going to outline my lips using this. And then I'm going to take my Jeffree Star liquid lip. It's in the shade Question Mark. And I am going to place that on the center and blend that out. Then I'm going to take my Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow. And I'm just going to be placing a little bit right there and kind of like blend that out. Okay, so I think that is it for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. If I haven't told you yet, I'm going to just be posting every Sunday or every other Sunday. You can follow my social medias in the description box down below. And I will see you next time. Bye.